So, um, these are the top five, maybe more, matches we would like to see at the Real American Freestyle in Fishers on December 20th. I believe tickets are on sale. So I hope we can make it. I know it has a pretty good card. I know Mason Paris versus Wyatt Hendrickson for the belt. And Sarah Hildebrandt's also on the card. So, and there's a couple. Yanni's wrestling the winner of Austin Gomez, and I can't remember who Gomez is wrestling. There's another, and there's Zahid Valencia. I say it's good, pretty shaping up to be a real good card. Check it out. I kind of plan on being there. I just got to make sure my schedule is clear. So, do you want to go
first? Off? I think I started off last week. Go. You got it?
I'll go first. Okay. This is kind of, most of these are kind of fantasy matchups, some kind of rematches. I'm going to go, and this is going to start off on a good note. Jason versus Alex Cerces. Oh. I want to see a little brother on brother. Just, that's going to be a brawl. I know they probably wrestled each other.
I think Alex gets that, right? Like, he just big. That's the original Big Brother, man.
Yeah.
Probably Big Brother's him.
Yeah. Alex is just a little bit meaner, I think, than Jason, but
I think it's the flip. I think Alex is more technical. I think Jason's meaner.
Oh, I don't know. That'd be a fun one to watch. I'm sure, we can maybe head over to, I'll be in your area Thursday. Maybe we can go over to Region and see if they'll wrestle for us.
I don't think they'll do that, but we can ask.
So, yeah, Jason versus Alex. It's always, a little bit of brotherly love there to start off my semi-fantasy match list.
My number 5 was it's a couple guys that had some Fargo hardware. I guess we didn't give them enough love when we were talking about Super 32. I'm gonna say Cash Kyorga and Jared Brooks. I seen Jared Brooks someone in Jared Brooks' family wasn't happy with our coverage of his place in Indiana wrestling lore, but I think that would be a really good match. Two guys that can light up the scoreboard.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. Both of them got after it a lot. Definitely, Brooks was ranked number 1 throughout his senior year. Beat a pretty good Nathan Tomasello at Super 32. I was there. I was right next to the mat. That was a huge win. I think he was the second Super 32 champion from Indiana. So that's pretty impressive. We haven't had that many. So great match there. Okay,
maybe a guy that gets lost in the mix a little bit. But both of those guys, Cash Kyorga, a guy that chased down some really tough matches. I know him and Josh Harper wrestled a couple times, but I think that'd be a good one.
Yeah. So my next one, which one do I want to put? Where do I want to put this one? I'm moving this one. One of the people are in the chat.
Ooh.
It's a rematch from a state finals match. Both look like that. I know one of the people he's still wrestling, and he's still getting after it. I mean, I've seen a lot of the states in motion from Jason Cook. I think he can still do it. So Jason Cook versus Jordan Humphrey, state finals rematch.
All right. I think both those guys probably can get after stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Humphrey's still wrestling in Veterans Worlds. He went up to wrestle in the Canadian Open a few years ago. He's still getting after it. Cook is too. You have the Revenge Tour, and you also have the I gotta prove it. The stamp of approval. So could be a good one right there.
My number 4, 2 guys with zeros next to their name: Lance Ellis, 4-time state champion for Indianapolis Cathedral, and Alex Cerces, 4-time state champion for Griffith High School. What was that, 177-0, 254-0?
Yeah. Man, that'd be good. I'd like that one.
I think that's more. Yeah, that'd be like a style matchup one. Obviously, Alex is technically very clean, doesn't really put himself in bad position. Lance pretty much could throw you from anywhere. So, but two guys that were 4-timers. Lance was the last one in 88 or 89.
Yeah.
And then Alex was the next one in 2000.
Yeah. So.
And 2001.
Okay, I have my 1 and 2, so my 3. I got a list of like 10. This is kind of a double, I guess. Um, any finals match with Brennan Campbell, because they were both him versus Erzman, him versus Petrov, absolutely wild, memorable matches. I'm sure he'd like to get revenge on one of them to get a title. He was as good as anybody during his career to get a title. So, man, those were just wild matches, and I'd love to see just see those guys get after it again.
Yeah, those were really good matches. I think the Paul Petrov Brennan Campbell match made my favorite state finals matches last year in my top 5.
Yep. Anytime best finals matches comes up, both those matches are coming up, and definitely ones I'd love to watch again. Hopefully they have a little bit of stamina still. I know Erzman and Petrov have. I don't know what Campbell's doing these days, but
my number 3, I think this one would have been pretty good. Brayton Lee, 3-time state champ, versus Jason Surtis.
Ooh.
I think that would be a match that'd be very good stylistically also. Kind of around the same weight class.
Yep. Yeah, that'd be a great one. I mean, Brayton
Shout out to Brayton.
As a 3-time champ, didn't qualify his freshman year, then he ended up becoming a gorilla for a couple years. So it all worked out.
He had a good win this summer too, right? Wrestling on the.
Yeah, he's still training, and he went overseas and has been doing well there, and he's assistant coach at Bellarmine. I believe I pronounced that correctly. When you pronounce Kentucky names, you just blah blah blah. So Bellarmine, I believe, is how it's called. So Erzman pulled a choose top and cut a move in his first ever head coaching duel. Brandon Wright versus either Bailey brother. I think that match might be on the card.
Actually, I actually had that one. I said, you know what, I'm not going to say that, but Brandon Wright versus both of them same night.
Yeah. So
I don't know, man. I was telling someone, those guys, obviously Logan had a really good college career. Brandon Wright had a really good college career. Hopefully those guys can fix whatever that is and stop posting sad things online about each other. Come on, too much Irish on Irish love there, man. We can't have that.
Number 2, this is probably 2 of the best athletes in Indiana history in all sports combined. Just pure athletes in multiple sports. They both were all state in 3 sports. Just freaks. Jalen Robinson versus Mason Paris.
Man, and I feel like just because we've seen Mason do it at the college level, that people are going to lean that way. But man, Jalen was a freak.
Yeah, and he wrestled from November till February.
Yeah, I would like to have seen obviously he went to football. He was playing professional rugby for a little bit. I don't know what he's doing now, but that'd have been a really fun match.
Yeah, Jalen as a wrestler is probably very underappreciated, and that'd have been both of them senior year 215. That'd have been 215 220. That'd have been awesome, and I'm sure Jalen with a little bit of training could. He was as good as anyone there, and he dominated some pretty good guys.
Oh yeah, Fletcher Miller was an All-American.
Yeah. Fletcher wrestled year round and did everything he could, and he had no answer for Jalen.
My number 2, little region royalty here. Stefan Michik, world champion, 3-time state champ, versus Angel Escobedo, IU head coach, 4-time state champion. Two guys that were really good. Angel's probably one of the best guys I've ever seen.
Ooh, that'd be fun. I'm not gonna lie. That one's that I didn't even think about that one. That's so yeah. So my number one. I'm gonna preface this with we will probably see this at some point. It could happen. I mean, technically, it could happen there. Maybe I'll contact a couple of people, set this up. But this is one that I want to see happen, but I also don't because then there's going to have to be a winner and there's going to have to be a loser. And the only thing was whenever you see matches like this as a fan, you don't want to. You don't want controversy in the ending. You don't want some crazy, referee call or something just like that. Everyone just they argue about the call or whatever happened and not about the match. But I want to see it. I think we might see it in the near future. Mendez versus Lee. Um, that would be fun.
That was also my number one. I had a couple honorable mentions. And my first honorable mention, it's a debate that me and my brother have every year. Dexter Larimore, Sean Streck. I often say that Sean was probably the best heavyweight that I had seen. And he often says that Dexter Larimore was the best heavyweight he had seen. So that's one that we asked David Maldonado about all the time. Like, who do you think would have won? And he likes to play the fence. But, honestly, we probably could see a Sean Streck, Lucas Davison match if they wanted to run that D2 national champ, NCAA runner up. We'd probably put that on the card. Yeah. I'm a little disappointed that there's not a lot of Fort Wayne love in here. Did anyone pick a Fort Wayne guy?
No.
I got a couple Fort Wayne guys on here, and this is why I was gonna let Joe get it. This honorable mention for me. I was trying to give Joe props to represent his community. Al Capone VZ versus Waylon Kressel. I think that would be a pretty interesting match of guys that left Fort Wayne, but two guys that represent the Wayne, probably two of the best guys in the last couple of years that represent the Wayne.
Yeah, might be seeing that in college at some point. I don't know exactly what weight VZ's going to go, but I believe Kressel's going to wrestle 184, if I'm not mistaken.
I have one more honorable mention, and this is more of a we got to find out, man. Two guys that have 4 medals, no championships. Ray Rio, 2-time under the lights versus Vinny Casaro. We got to see. Those guys are two guys that were right there for a title a couple years, and I got someone wrote in DJ Ratnovich, Pat Day.
Oh, that'd be interesting. I got a few honorable mentions. Another one with the brotherly love. Andrew Davison versus Lucas Davison. Obviously, the younger brother had a little bit more success, but you have the big brother that's never going to let the younger brother get one up on him.
And winner has to wrestle my financial advisor.
Yes.
Winner has to go crunch numbers with Dad.
I did have a Jared Brooks one. So this would be. I thought this is where you'd go with that one, but Jared Brooks versus Revan Dickman.
Oh, that would be a good one.
Two obviously both have had a lot of national success. Both I was trying to find one with Brooks that was about the same weight class because he was 113 as a senior. Not easy to find a senior that was at that weight within the last 20-25 years. I think that'd be a real good match. I think stylistically that'd be. Yeah, Brooks very explosive, very he'll get after it. Dickman's very methodical. And then my last one, let me put that there. Kind of on the same theme as I had earlier. Another rematch, Brody Bauman versus Robert Major. Another great finals match recently that just was just absolute fireworks from start to finish. So, Randy Baker, Blake Mara, that's a good one.
That would be a good one.
Yeah.
I I thought about doing. I was trying to think like a guy. So Blake, I felt like was just a winner. Like he'd find ways to win. Like he would. Every tight match I ever felt like he was in. Like there was never a time I was like he's probably gonna lose this one. I was trying to think like who else is a guy that would just find those ways to win like that.
Yeah.
Like Slivka won too. I thought Slivka was a guy that would find ways to win.
Yeah.
But like I don't know if he was on that like level with Blake. I was trying to think of like, I mean, Air's found ways to win. Obviously, he only had 2 losses in his high school career.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, trying to find some of looking at kind of the 3 and 4 timers, trying to find what they were, good stylistically matches. But I'm sure this will get some traction on the graphic tomorrow morning.
Man, so, I was trying to like think like, man, we should have invited like someone that was like, because there's always going to be a guy in there that's going to pull like an older name and say, I can't believe you guys didn't have so and so versus so and so, and I'm like, all right, like I've only been in Indiana since '97, and only like basically knew about like anything outside of the region since like '99. So
Duke says Jason Woodson versus VZ would be good.
Jason Woodson versus VZ would be good.
Some Snyder, some Panther on Panther. I heard there might be a match. I heard Brett Smith might be wrestling Mason Paris.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah.
Just how long can he last?
Yes. Yeah. So hopefully his life insurance is up to, we'll see what that Prairie Heights pension plan looks like for his wife.
How about Greg Schaefer, Vega versus Jared Brooks? I mean, both those guys were pretty. I mean, Vega double champ.
Yeah, that'd be a good. I like that one too. That'd be. Yeah, there's a lot of good matches that kind of. It'd be fun to watch, see those guys get after it, especially in their primes and high school, right after high school. Sliga Paris, yeah, that would be. I mean,
and some of it's tough because we do know like, and I'm not gonna lie, there was some bias to like what I was doing based on like I know like kind of how their college careers went, right? Like obviously Jesse and Nick are both champs. Stefan was in a champ, he was a finalist, and Angel was a champ, but Stefan a world champ. Brayton, a couple time All-American. Jason, champ, multiple time All-American. Lance and Alex, one time All-American. I don't believe Lance was an All-American, but different reason. Cash Kyorga, the year after his true freshman years in the national semifinals. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it was. So good list, and hopefully, that was a good list. Woo!